Hello and welcome to Mr. Randy's Wine and Spirits. I am Mr. Randy, and we are here for the full review episode of the Yellowtail. I do apologize. I just forgot to silence all the electronical beeping things. So let's go ahead and just take just a second. I apologize. I do believe that should cover it. Everything but the cat. Everything but the cat has now been silenced. He's outside the door. When he hears my voice, he starts coming to the door and he jingles a little bell on his collar. That's what he does. But if you're new to the channel, hello, welcome. Come on in. Good times will ensue. All my returning viewers can absolutely vouch for that. So here we are. We have the Yellowtail Merlot, soft, smooth, fruity. It is a 2024. All right. Go ahead and get a pour on while we're sitting here. Very rich, beautiful, dark red color. We're going to go over the bottle just real quick. This is the back. I'm going to give you a slow roll across. It is 13.5% alcohol by volume. There you go. 750 milliliter standard. Oh, I'm sorry. Give you a little bit better look at that. The Casella family. I would love to talk to somebody in the Casella family about a very particular bottle that has now become almost an extinct creature. This one. I have this one is still full. I have two of the big ones, the big 1.5s, I think they're big 1.5s. But, so, here we are with the wine review. So I've adjusted how I'm going to do my reviews when it comes to the wine. So it's going to be still a 3-step process. Step 1 is also still going to be off the rip. I'm going to get it home, crack it open, pour it in a glass, have a taste, share my first impressions with you because you're awesome. You're a superstar. Part 2, we're going to get halfway down the bottle, which is where we're at today. Give this spirit, what libation of sorts, time and space. Open up, see if it wants to change itself a bit. If not, that's okay. Better or worse, it is what it is. I go online to the internet and without any kind of safeguards, because that's how dedicated I am. And I'm going to bear out as much information and bring it back to you, and hopefully in a format less than 10 minutes, because attention spans these days. Yes, that nose has definitely gotten better. It's not as intense as it was off the rip. Very nice. So, step 2 of the process, the full review. Instead of giving it too much time, it is a wine. Wine needs to be drank as soon as it is opened. That's very beautiful. That's a very sweet, but not too sweet. Lots of red fruit. Very soft. Very fruity. Very delicious nose. Wines have to be drank within 3 to 5 days after opening. There are methods in which you can, savor it a little bit longer. But here is the key point about wine and other libations of sort. When you first get this bottle, it's sealed. It's called captive gas. This gas has been the same since it was first put in the bottle. This stuff has not been able to change at all. It's been frozen in time. That's why wine can be so old in the bottle and still be good, or even gets better the older it is. But once you've uncorked it, you've let that little bit of captive gas out, you've introduced oxygen. The oxygen started a chain reaction. That clock is ticking down. And the more you drink it, the more oxygen you allow into it, the faster it's going to degrade. That's why wine has to be drank faster than any other kinds of spirit. Now, you can go to the extreme. I wouldn't go to the extreme for a $5 bottle of wine, but say you had a $500 bottle of wine and you don't drink wine that often. Maybe you drink a glass a night, every other night, whatever. People actually have devices and machines that will remove the oxygen out of here, replace it with a inert gas of some sort, nitrogen. I do believe they have a very special mix that, if you're going to do it for a $500 bottle, you might as well go all the way, right? It says I have a beautiful nose. I'm trying to let this open up a little bit, so this video might run a little bit long. I'm going to try and speed things up. But there it is. You have vacuum corks. I have those. I don't use them because I don't crack this open unless I'm going to drink it within 2 to 3 days. There's just no sense in going through all that. Chill it. Also, another thing is you have a wine cooler or a wine chest or something like that. You chill it. If you keep it cold, it'll slow it down, but it will not stop it. Keep that in mind. So, halfway through, full review, second day. Third day, the day after, maybe the day after that, I try and keep it as close as possible. Like I said, I don't start one unless I know I'm going to finish it within the 5 days. So, part 3 is going to be the final pour. That's what it's called, so, because we're going to pour that final in there, in the glass, and we're going to compare it to the first pour, see how well it does. Has it changed? Has it gotten better? And everything in between. So here we are, halfway point with the Yellowtail Merlot. Let's go ahead and get it on the palate, because that nose is much better than off the rip. That happens with wine. It may not happen with other things, but mostly happens with wine. Now that palate is a lot easier and a lot smoother than off the rip. Remember, on off the rip, the palate was harsh. It was a little bit harsh. It's definitely a stark reminder that wine can be, that wine may have to be, I lost the word. It was right on the tip of my tongue, and now it's hiding. You have to get acclimated to it. It's something that the more you drink it, the more you appreciate it, the more you understand it, the more you like it. You have to get acclimated to it. It's a certain word I'm missing. I know you're going to probably hit me in the comments with it. It's a certain word that I just can't call it right now. But the palate is much easier and it's much softer than off the rip. But since this is a wine and we're not going to be doing a finish, what I'll do is I'll just say, I guess you can get a bit of a finish off of it, but it's more of a how do you savor it and how is the aftertaste. So I guess we can consider that a finish. So this is a New South Wales light medium red wine. Best paired with chicken, beef, pasta, pizza even. That was a thing. I'm like, hey, now I got to go out and get a pizza so I can pair this with a pizza and see how that works. Now this was just over or just over $5 or just under $6. I don't recall, but I know it was roughly $5. That was the price before taxes out the door. So it's probably closer to $6. We did say that it was a 13.5% ABV. The color, we said, is a very nice, deep, rich. You see that? I wish I had a backlight of sorts we can... I do not have one handy. I'll have to think about that for the next one. On the nose, you definitely are getting dark cherry, plums, some vanilla for sure. That vanilla has now been able to come out from behind all this like robust dark cherry and plum. There's a little bit of spice. There's probably less spice than the vanilla. It's a very beautiful, delicious nose. It's kind of deceiving because it's not quite that on the palate. The palate is a mellow bitter. It's just the bitterness has mellowed out from off the rip. This is much more enjoyable to drink now halfway through. It does have a dry sort of sense to it, but not in a negative sense. You do get some dark fruits, but those dark aren't very rich. Like I said, it's more richness on the nose than on the palate. We're already coming up on the 10-minute mark. Try and speed this up. You do get berries. Like I said, very light vanilla. For the finish is roughly going to be the palate just turned down a little bit. There is that mellow bitterness. The plum sort of comes out a little bit like a watered down plum. Not as sweet and as tart, but it's sort of watered down. Yeah, and there's still some light vanilla there. So my score for the Yellowtail Merlot, I'm probably going to have to give it I'm going to give it a weak 4 out of 5. When it comes to wine, there's a little bit more of a learning curve. Acquired taste. There it is. From very back in the beginning of the video. It is an acquired taste. It's not something somebody just gets into because they absolutely love that taste for their first drink. No. It's an acquired taste. Kind of like coffee. Coffee was something I didn't like at first, but then I realized that the people around me weren't making coffee right in the first place. So then I got into it, became a coffee connoisseur. I make excellent coffee. I make coffee that make people quit Starbucks. That stuff's not even coffee anyways. Anywho, it's an acquired taste. And after you acquired it, you got it for life. You definitely want something better. This is okay. My fair price, I'm gonna leave it alone. There's no reason to mess with it. It's a good wine. It's a good Merlot for its price. If you like sweeter wines, this probably won't be your jam. If you like that deeper, mellow, not so sweet red wine, definitely a Merlot. Would I buy this again? I would if I, was in for it, but there are so many other bottles out there which I am still going to try. There's so many. Oh boy. 2026 is going to be one heck of a year. So there it is. Let me know what you think about Yellowtail Merlot in the comments section. And as always, thanks for stopping by here at Mr. Randy's Wine and Spirits. I'll call it a good one.